okayfm 101.7.
Na apia dan kwa de no de aba no yensan ko Andy Kankam ehwe na Andy informer democrat no editor na ye no entwetwe enkomo ani
Kwame
memoaji
Kwame Jimso na mbom design
boko na so
o Kwame obode de ache hunam ye nti asida na de be ma no aka ne aka nusuri e bompa ese nyame o hata suri o ma ye ni mungu asida
ami na ne ma yendi nkomo na yenhwe ye yewura right honorable speaker abambabin di akwa mu ene se yesi ni security detail wo mu ayi ni ho ehun nsem bebre minim se wate bi minority ni so are raise concern na o kan say
Kwame da se mechi atiefo ni di mu na unu nua nyina mema mo atishapa na atiefo Kwame em se ensam no beto dwa no ye no bi we took it upon ourselves I say yeah some little background check where we need to fault people for not being discreet in that dispatch of latest correspondence. No, as I said, it to security. When I entered the four walls of Kofi Annan to go and study security, peace, conflict, and security, when talking about security, communication is a very important tool. Into one communicate here, one here, and the Asamaba. And so, your culture is in communication, no, there is something we call intelligence. And so, when you are communicating the issue of security, no, now they know home because one year, not the problem. Yeah, Kwame, in the first place, I think the Ghana, in here, or the American, in here. And so, President, no, na said sir Oboye Nyina Hoban as the Commander in Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, the President of the Republic of Ghana. I will say, that is why we have an institution of state clothed with the powers to discharge facile function. And the President Subaya said, now this ministers, say, I think this morning I heard Honorable Master Kofi Juma or throw light on those issues. And so the minister responsible for national security is there, and the coordinators, and then the various security chiefs, the heads of the security agencies, now Kwame, when him say correspondent now back and forth from the military command, as some procedure were not followed. No. In the first place, this is not the first time the Speaker's office or Parliament, through the clerk, for such security detail for the Speaker of Parliament. I think that what about this hula balloon in Asifoya, Sibion Crawford, Enya Butre, and communicate in the process to placate and unnecessarily make everything partisan, no? They end up blowing people's cover in terms of security.
okayfm
Kwame,
101.7.
if you read the clerk's letter, it's just, let me say, there is a change be omoye, so that say a four, that is the arrangement. So changes omoye, so obi back obi ashako, and so they just wrote to the chief of staff at the army headquarters, representing the chief of defense staff, or the Asama Mekano. And I'm told it's one Major General Arnold something. One Major General Ando. Kwame. So if the military command is saying there was not some procedures were breached, in the first place, no more grantees are requesting a parliament lawyer or more speaker, the four security military detail. If the military is accepting say my mistake in the first place, and that's what is happening, and you'll be and a chinchin or musa, and yeah, then fine. But this is also a serious issue because if you are taxed, and we know the role of the military. If the men are more war front, now we army HQ, army or HQ. Now administratively, you can send back communication to the troops at the war front, and yes, they will be captured by the enemy. So that mistake, I think that the Chief of Defense Staff should look at that. Kwame, when it comes to the issue of security, the National Security Minister is there to coordinate the activities of all security agencies. And when it comes to the Speaker's security, do we have to be leaking documents and discussing this thing on there? The National Security Minister, instead of writing that letter, so and so, it is not stated in the protocols of blah blah blah. Listen, that is why you are coordinating the activities. Yeah.
In the person of the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament,
Yeah.
On one to mean funny pe and to mean request security details. In persons of the military say Omumbra.
Yeah. Oh, and no, inti say letter no. And why they wrote again say omo person mo change obinti omuma obifu from that, meaning say indeed the first place no, they follow due process. In the next, if the military command is saying through the chief of staff at the army headquarters, Major General Ando is telling us that there was some breach of procedure. Who breached that procedure? It is he. He must be blamed for that. So when you speaker and then you parliament, but Kwame, the use of the military is another issue that we must discuss. When it comes to internal peace and security, it's the preserve of the police service.
okayfm.
You only calling the military assessing the security situation in terms
but
of
according to minority deputy minority whip in Komono, or see and a software baby military.
Listen, I'm speaking as a student of security, and when people decide to make some pedestrian deductions of it, please, let's leave it at that. Because what the gentleman did this morning was so bad. Listen, virtually unmaxing people in terms of their security. Listen, if I were one of them, and I'm very close to one of them, I will sue this gentleman. Because you see, he has exposed the people. It's about security. This issue should have been discussed without media for client between Parliament and the military command. This thing should have been ironed out, resolved amicably, without correspondence in Asifo. That is why, to some extent, I feel say the Ministry of National Security coming out with that letter, if you ask me, because you see, you are in there to play the role. What you are saying, to play the role, sexually, Ajubrel. That is exactly what they say. Oh, the speaker's security is intact. So, Master, without writing those letters, even the military detail, it is not within the stated protocols of the speaker. Master, fair enough. But why do we have to be doing all these things as the agency coordinating all the security agencies? Call these bodies and iron this thing out amicably. Resolve it without writing letters just like that. Then again, one will say because people have decided to play politics with it. So fine. Kwame, so the use of the military is also another issue. As I say, when it comes to maintaining law and order internal security, right? Internal security, protecting life and property is the preserve of the police service. Police service, we have the Form Police Unit, FPU. And if you want to dig into FPU, NS set, subset, you see the you have various groups and departments are omuye sanyemaya omuye very good professionals now say for multi protected. We have the SWAT and what have you. We have the RDF and omunyina crowd control. So I mean so police for police soldier for you. So when we reduce our police to providing security, and I'll be back and I'll be here with. When we reduce them, massa. Meanwhile, they are to be confined to the bar. The training one in terms of external aggression. You be usual protecting the territorial boundaries of this country. Now you are usual. What is what American? But sir, you assess the security situation. Now we need some reinforcement. That should be done at the request of the Ghana Police Service and no other person. A police phone never called for BF. Say, Chief of Staff, Defense up here. I want give me some of your men because situation, so that we will collaborate and resolve the issue. So one who argues, even chief executives who use military personnel as their security. Why not the speaker? Kwame, when it comes to the issue of security and health, I've always maintained, politics. That is why for somebody to come and say, it's because of e-levy, it's because of LGBTQ. Kwame, it is totally needless and reckless, so pedestrian. And nobody should dignify such comments.
And I see one more collectively as minority.
Minority spokesperson. Kwame, let me tell you, when it comes to issues, some minority backers, do you know their spokesperson?
Dabi.
Alaji ABF Hussein. So that letter that was altered by the minority leader, Honorable Haruna Idrisu. Masa, what kind of letter now? It's so explanatory, self-explanatory in sense of what kind of issues no? Partly I disagree with them. Because when it comes to your security, Kwame, Isaac Obia security and Yamin Semnese. As for just to augment police for just to augment until they be the security and then Yankopon, your bambon, me and Yankopon. And Kwame, the point is that when even the minority wants to communicate on this matter, it should be somebody who is well versed in security matters. When it comes to issues of security, I know Honorable Agauda, my senior at Kofi Annan, who has been a deputy interior minister before. That gentleman communicates with verve and finesse. He won't communicate the way the gentleman did this morning on your show. He will be as reckless as the gentleman did by exposing people and maxing people in terms of their security. So that is my point. In his quest to be so political, politics, and then what security duties are one private citizens. What maximum. That is what the gentleman did this morning. And you think that we should glorify him, or we should continue to guard him on to be doing this? Everything he will come and reduce
the deployment of the military personnel.
That is the point we should be looking at. That is what he should be looking at, so that in the future, sir, a bank change here, we will not see
the question is say, Obia me when also a student of what security something. It will be our omayimua. Ubetimi assess the service of the military. Said where 6, where the say
Kwame.
And for what reason too?
Kwame, when you do the threat analysis and assessment, and that will inform whatever measure you should do. So we are private citizens who they apply for police protection, right? And when you are applying for police protection, now more assess it to the appropriate agency of state. No more access here. Fine. Maybe you can apply to the military that you need a military protection or details. Maybe more access here. Who situation no a military detail. Now, I refer to the appropriate courts that please, the police will handle this better. So don't be afraid. But see, you don't know what even informed the deployment of the military personnel to the various residences of the people he mentioned this morning. Kwame, let me refer him. Do you know that Mami Charlotte say he was also having these military details?
Mm-hmm.
So we see we shouldn't move into the realm of this nauseating partisan politics. We should look at the issue and in fact, Yen Kasa say it is time. Sa military deployment ye hu omo and obi besiese and obi fa obi back and oye obi back din asefo no. Listen, yen yan so that we use the Ghana Police Service. I've always had confidence in the Ghana Police Service. Right? I've always had confidence in the Ghana Police Service that listen, when it comes to internal law, security, order, listen, they will be up and doing, they will deliver. So it's a whole conversation. That is why the Parliament, we have a committee on interior and defense. You refer to your ranking member, who has been there before to speak. Then Anna say, channel this concern to the minister. Now, meaning said the committee will meet as a whole and make some recommendation to the House for onward submission to the appropriate agency. That is how it works. So now without anything, we say LGBTQ. Kwame, say so why should it be some issue on attacking the speaker? Why should Masa yaka say Masa a that is why some of us feel say go back to the toll levy and reconsider that decision. Go back to that toll levy and what institute then the 11, looking at the condition, the prevailing condition, right? Then over the 11, and you're 1.75. Say, and a minority leader saying, first, it was no. And now say the 1%, they are good to go. If it's 1% that we can get the revenue to carry on the development project, fine. And then I think that the Honorable Deputy Minority Chief Whip should listen to people like Mr. Tobu, the former policeman now, Officer Noabe MP. Kwame, I don't control your editorial policy. But when you say Bibiano is the issue of expertise and where your strength lies. Papa no kasaye, and then obu politician for say masa, sa attempt to overly politicize the institution, the security services of this country. It is problematic, and they should stop it. And he gave proper diagnosis of all the issues holistically. So now the can say a way, and then you end up exposing people's bedroom issues, their security details. So now I know that a security detail will be we will be. Kwame, the security is perfect. You don't see it all. It is not a showmanship. It is not a razzmatazz. And yes, I will be an abeti na wa she so jatade na wokoba na wo okretu. Masa, that is not it. Security say yes super. But the person knows that listen, here baby I'm protected. I don't need a military person in a uniform to be here. But somewhere I'm protected. Kwame. So the security of state is very important. I have always maintained, Kwame, I will never, given a try in the future, say me kweku. If the privilege is done, me say, remember me say this country in some capacity. Now, makofa police force or guide me. Me be that. I won't do it.
Okay.
So the moment we go around with this police protection and military protection, it means that there is something we are not doing well as leaders. And let's look at that, because the security of the state, is very important. I must feel safe. That should be it. when we all feel safe, I don't think that this issue of away security. Today you ended up saying that the Supreme Court judges and blah, but listen, there is a history. The BICBR, there is a history. And so, you don't wait, sir. You should be taken by surprise. Kwame, asemi media, near ye, can say, let her be from today. Let her be and away actual and away say we are reply and away I reply.
Okay.
And I Kwame, more Francois, Mr. Enidium, and I'm a kind. I don't control editorial policy. But
Andy, what do you mean by your drink say?
Yeah.
It's a whole minority, and I'm raise our concern. It's not on to me to say, sir, Mammy, it's
a whole minority, and I raise the concerns. No?
Yes,
and nobody is faulting them for raising that concern.
And the thing is out there. It made me the said to prosecute whatever they brought up.
You see, yours is to interrogate the issue further.
Sure.
So that at the end of the day, no, can afford
because they are all in the papers, and as editorial policy say, "Mammy, can once more."
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that listen, Kwame, you have done it over the years. That is why you've won the awards. That's why we continue to bank in the awards. That's why we continue to bank in the awards. So my point is that listen, when you are calling people, and with all in all humility, Franco from Casa diagnose the issue, not speak to the matter, but they diagnose it and prefer the solution based on security analysis and diagnosis. And all that you come and then you rant on air, make it part. You see, the moment you turn this thing political, can we discuss the issue of, why we should not be using the military in town all over? Can we discuss it when you decide to politicize it? And Honorable Master Kofi Juma, also by now, obey your kind of politics, Anka, Master Anka, assembly, here say you interrogating well, so that the deployment of the military in town to provide security, you bet me and use the police. What is not making outside of the FPU? So why are they not providing security?
Okay, I fancy medasi.
Naminka.
Also, around the Kankam editor, ma inform the Democrat and any compacho.
Okay, FM 101.7.